When we talk about the biggest trade steals in NBA history, what are some of the trades that come to mind? A few examples would be a rookie Kobe Bryant to the Lakers for Vlade Divac, a young James Harden to the Rockets for mediocre pieces, or Boston basically taking all of Brooklyn's future picks for an aging Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. The list goes on. But one of the trade steals I see so rarely mentioned was Shaquille O'Neal traded from the Lakers to the Miami Heat in 2004. It's probably because at first glance, a lot of people don't think this trade was actually a steal at all or all that lopsided. To break down the trade specifically, the Miami Heat received Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers received Lamar Odom, Brian Grant, Caron Butler, and Miami's future first-round pick. Lamar Odom was the only player in this trade that eventually contributed to the Lakers' championships in 2009 and 2010. Brian Grant was a 6'9" center who was coming off of a season that he averaged only 8 points and 6 rebounds in 30 minutes per game. Grant went on to play only one season with the Lakers in which he averaged nearly a whopping 4 points and 4 rebounds. Caron Butler was coming off of a season where he averaged only 9 points on less than 40% shooting. Caron also only spent 1 year with the Lakers, and although Caron Butler eventually developed into a good player, he wasn't one at the time of the trade and wasn't with the Lakers long enough to make any real impact. The Lakers did receive Miami's first-round draft pick, but how valuable is that future first-round pick going to be when you just gave that team Shaquille O'Neal, who now plays in a weaker Eastern Conference? Miami was obviously going to make deep playoff runs after this trade, meaning that the Miami pick that now belonged to the Lakers was essentially just a hopeful late-round shot in the dark. The pick eventually turned into the 26th pick in the draft, which the Lakers used to select Jordan Farmar, who was at best a decent rotation player for the Lakers. In reality, Lamar Odom was the only solid piece the Lakers got in return for Shaq. I get that Odom was a quality player for LA and definitely had an impact for them, but let's put that into the correct perspective. For the Lakers, Lamar was a sixth man and a regular Sixth Man of the Year candidate. If you had to trade away a still transcendent and dominant Shaquille O'Neal in a league where big men were often the best players on championship teams, who was still an elite rim protector defensively, averaging over 20 points and 12 boards, who had championship experience and was a recent 3-time Finals MVP, who was the best player on last year's Finals and only barely into his 30s, and the best piece you got in return is a Sixth Man of the Year candidate? How many of you would take that deal? Honestly. It wasn't until Andrew Bynum was drafted and Pau Gasol was acquired in a trade from Memphis that the Lakers actually became contenders again. Both of these moves had nothing to do with the Shaq trade. The Lakers made these moves in spite of the terrible Shaq trade. This lopsided trade immediately catapulted Miami to be contenders in the Eastern Conference, while the Lakers went from a yearly playoff contender to a terrible 34-48 team, well short of the playoffs. I get the Lakers were ready to part ways with Shaq, and that Kobe was the younger player who the franchise chose to build around, but as a Lakers fan, the trade felt, dare I say, rushed? It felt like the Lakers had settled for at best an arguably decent offer rather than being patient and getting the best offer for the best center in the NBA. All the time, people talk about what if Shaq and Kobe stayed together, but there's another what if that almost never gets mentioned. What if Kobe actually got a solid return of talent from the Shaq trade? As a Lakers fan, it felt like a gut punch when Shaq was traded for simply decent pieces because the writing was on the wall. Despite being in Kobe's prime, Kobe wasn't going to be competing for championships in the near future. The only part of the trade that excited me as a fan was the opportunity to see what Kobe could do without Shaq, and with mostly a bunch of scrubs on his team. At this point, we had already seen Kobe score over 50 points in only 3 quarters and have a 9-game 40-point streak with Shaq. The thought was interesting to see what Kobe could do without Shaq demanding the ball and with Kobe literally having to carry the offense, and we all know what happened. 62 and 3/4, 35 points per game, 50 points in 4 straight games, and of course the 81-point game. As amazing as it was to see these incredible displays of offense, I can't help but think if the Lakers had played their cards right, they would have been able to compete for championships during Kobe's best years of his career. Regardless, this is how the story unfolded. Kobe spent his best years with below-average teammates before the arrival of Gasol revived the team, and Shaq and Wade won their legendary championship together. I really wish we could see the other trade offers the Lakers could have received for Shaq if they had waited to field more offers. Let me know in the comments section what your thoughts are on this monumental legacy-altering trade. Thanks for watching as always. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I've been really blessed to see my channel growing a lot lately, so thanks to all of you who are supporting, and if you haven't yet, please join my NBA community and fellow NBA enthusiasts. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next video.